Follows. Now, on to another horror film by one of the that spoils what it is. Fuck you, audience, for looking at that. Alright, one of the biggest influences on It Follows, David Cronenberg, I finally caught up with The Fly. Ooh. So this is a pretty legendary film. It's considered to be one of the best horror films of all time, one of the best remakes of all time, and one of the best films of the 80s.
One of the best films to feature Jeff Goldblum naked in.
Well, yes. You don't see his willy, but you do see quite a lot of his anus.
Oh god.
There's a scene where like him and Gina Davis are having sex, and and then this is the most disturbing part of the film. He's like laid on her, and then the camera pans, and you get to see all his ass.
Oh god.
Even into his regions.
Oh god.
His dark, billowy regions.
Dark regions. Oh god.
Yes. So, The Fly, for anyone who doesn't know, is probably one of the most famous film premises of all time.
Yeah.
A guy invents a teleportation device which works by, it sends matter from one place to another, so it detangles you, puts you back together in a different place.
Like in Star Trek.
Like in Star Trek, yes. However, it goes horribly wrong because he goes in with a fly and he slowly morphs into a cross between a man and the fly.
Oh.
Yes.
An episode of The Simpsons spoofed this.
It did. It was an alright spoof. There's nothing really that good about it. Yes, so the film...
If I want to comment on that, I like how much this box is ripping off the Alien Quadrilogy box set.
There's one that's even worse, because do you remember how the Alien Quadrilogy would come in like the Xenomorph?
Oh yeah.
You can get this and it comes in as the teleportation device.
Yeah. But down to the green writing, to the green centre in the middle, like the teleportation device. Yeah, I love how much this is ripping off the Alien box set. Oh, it's a bit of a 20th century box as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so there you go.
Yes, but anyway, The Fly, absolutely amazing film.
I've not seen it.
So I watched Dead Ringers, which is a 10. I watched Crash, which we've not reviewed because you gave it you to watch again.
Oh yes.
We'll review it when you've seen it again.
Oh, yes.
I would give that a 10 as well. So I'm really enjoying the Cronenberg films. I'd also give this a 10. This is an absolutely stunning film. Jeff Goldblum is amazing in it because
what?
Yes, it's very lively. Very lively. Yes, Jeff Goldblum plays the scientist, and he's completely convincing throughout. You can almost believe he's turning into a fly. Yes, he's just absolutely stunning because he's got all the effects in this are practical effects.
Oh yeah.
And they look absolutely amazing. I watched one of the interviews on here, they're only a couple of minutes long, where he says that the problem he had with the original Fly was that it basically just took his head and put it on a fly and the fly's head on him.
Yeah.
It was completely preposterous. In this, it's just horrific.
Yeah.
He slowly morphs into the fly and his fingers fall off and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen those bits. Yeah.
Yes, there is also a really funny scene. It's like a little joke that he must have put in there where he's his ear falls off. Oh, there's a horrific scene in this where Gina Davis plays his girlfriend. She's amazing as well. I never used to think she was much as an actress.
She's alright. Okay.
Yeah, but she's really, really good in this. But she's looking after him, and then his ear falls off, and then she's like, ah! And he's like, no, and then all it goes, bleh, and all this sort of awful fly stuff pours down his. It's like, oh, and it's horrific. But there's a bit where his other ear falls off, and he's like, these will be symbols of my evolution, and he puts them in a jar, and then you see his penis in a jar because it's obviously fallen off. It's just a really funny joke. But this film is it's really weird because it's a horror film. It's really, really scary. Well, it's not scary. It's horrific to watch because it's just so intense.
Yeah.
And it's body horror, and it's David Cronenberg, it's really difficult to watch, as you can imagine. But you're basically watching the desolation of
Smaug.
I knew you were going to say that. Of Jeff Goldblum's character as he slowly disintegrates into this horrible fly man. It's a tragedy. There's a really amazing quote from David Cronenberg because Mel Brooks produced it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a better producer than director. The Elephant Man, The Fly.
Yeah.
Classics. that like there's a bit, and it's an amazing scene, and nothing happens in it, but Jeff Goldblum walks down the street. But guess who does the music for this? And Dead Ringers and Crash. Someone you wouldn't imagine as doing like these horror music soundtracks.
Danny Elfman.
Howard Shaw.
Oh yes, yeah. Because I remember watching a Lord of the Rings interview that apparently for the scenes where Frodo is running through Shelob, Pete Jackson just said, try and recreate your soundtrack for The Fly.
Yeah.
Basically, I want you to go to that level.
But there's a stunning scene where it's like, I don't know, 15 seconds. Jeff Goldblum just walks down the street into a bar, and this big orchestral, like, boom, boom, pounding, like, tragic music plays. And apparently Mel Brooks was like, what are you doing, David? This is ridiculous. He's just walking down the street. And Cronenberg went, no, he's walking to his destiny. The music stays.
Okay.
And that's the approach it takes. Like, did you know that the film was adopted into an opera?
No.
Yes, it was. It's a tragic, romantic horror film. And everyone who likes horror films should watch it. It's that good.
I'm really desperate to watch it, yeah.
Yes. I also thought,
box set from you.
I was going to say what I thought would be interesting for the, and for the channel and all, is that we can watch, because I got this in a collection of 5 of the Fly films. Yes, you get The Fly, you get The Fly, you get The Fly 2, you get Return of the Fly, and Curse of the Fly.
Curse of the Fly.
Curse of the Fly has probably the worst cover of all time. That's not much cop.
Piece by piece, atom by atom, humans invisibly teleport through time and space. The Curse of the Fly.
Yes. So they didn't have a lot to work with when they remade it.
Good lord.
Yes. So I thought what would be interesting would be to watch all 5 of these films in order to see, how franchises have... Anyway, anyone who's wondering... Yes, anyone who's wondering how franchises have changed, because they were always like, trying to farm as much shit as they could out of like these films.
Well, if people think the original Wizard of Oz was the first ever adaptation of the book,
yeah,
how wrong they were.
Yes. But yeah, The Fly is a 10 out of 10 classic. It's pretty bad to watch. The whole thing is people at the time thought it was a metaphor for AIDS.
Oh yeah.
Because he contracts this disease, falls apart, and then Gina Davis has to look out for him.
Yeah.
It's more like a general thing about disease and aging. It's really hard to watch now. Like, it's sort of like, you can look at it as like cancer or anything like that, where she has to look after him and slowly disintegrate. Really difficult to watch, because it's because Jeff Goldblum's so manic and so lively.
Yeah.
You care for you develop the character so well developed. You sort of feel for him as he slowly and horrifically becomes the Fly.
Does he get a buzz from the transformation?
He does. At first, yes. It could also be a metaphor for like drugs, because at first he becomes... The Flies have super strength for something, because he's like super strong and like...
I suppose in the Fly world there would be.
Yes. Yes, he becomes super strong and super energetic, and then he slowly just, the life comes out of him. But yeah, we will... So this was my first watch. We'll watch all 4 in order, starting with the Vincent Price £58 classic.
It's meant to be really great, except for the actual costume.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, The Fly 2 as well. Scariest bit of this film, by the way. One that I was like, I almost turned it off, right? Gina Davis has a dream that she's pregnant.
Oh yeah.
And David Cronenberg plays the gynecologist.
Oh
right?
yes, yeah.
And then he's like, push, and then there's blood everywhere. And she pushes out like a lava.
Oh.
And like it slowly like pours out, and he's like, and it's this fly lava. Oh, it makes me feel sick. This film is just I don't even know how I'm going to make a second viewing out of it. It's very tough to watch. Surprisingly, this was one of the biggest hits of 1986.
Jesus.
This film has like an unconventional leading man, a director who was pretty much unknown, I think, in America at the time, because he mainly worked in Canada. But yeah, one of the biggest hits of it's still his biggest hit. I think it made something like $70 million then, which was a massive hit on a budget of 1 or something.
Yeah.
And it got acclaimed for being like the best film of the year. A lot of people said Jeff Goldblum deserved to win Best Actor, but because it was a horror film, he was never going to get nominated, were it?
No chance.
And now, for playing the Brundle Fry, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. But yes, Jeff Goldblum is amazing. and it's pretty much it's a perfect horror film, just like it follows. I would give The Fly a 10 out of 10 out of 10. It's probably David Cronenberg's, out of the ones I've seen, I would say it's joint with Crash, so like his joint second best film. And we'll be reviewing Crash once Chris has worked himself up to watching it for a third time.
Oh yeah, because I've seen it twice.
Yes. But yes, watch The Fly if you've not seen it. If you have, make a comment on how absolutely amazing it is. Yes. Is it the best horror film of all time?